Welcome to Bladebound Saga.
Hey, welcome to Bladebound Saga. I am Daniel, otherwise known as Rice Combo Online. And, well, in today's video, I'm just going to give an update on what I did today at PAX. As some of you know, I'm at PAX Unplugged this weekend, and basically doing all things Daggerheart. I won't really go super in-depth, just kind of take this all in the cuff of what I remember. As it has been a crazy long day, I'm back in my Airbnb for the night, and so we'll just kind of see how this goes. Anyways, that being said, for PAX, I got in today. My flight was from Indianapolis to Philly at 7, 8 this morning. I didn't get in until around 9:40, so I missed a little bit of the beginning of the convention, which wasn't too bad. I think I got to the convention floor around 11, so I didn't miss too much. But I basically spent all day just kind of trying to meet people that I have met online. First person I saw was Rachel from Faint Divinities, who is another Daggerheart content creator who has been doing some Let's Plays. She's running games with Envoy and Darrington Press, and so got to talk with her, meeting a couple other people from the Darrington Press Discord. Shout out to Duckberg and Miss Physics on the Discord. They were really great to meet. I'm hoping to spend a little bit more time with them in the next couple days. Then after that, I went over to the Darrington Press booth and got to catch up with some of the community managers there. Got to look at some of the products like Queen, Before Midnight, Quarter Pass, so the new expansion. Got to look at it and demo it a little bit. Didn't get a chance to go back and end up purchasing my copy, so I hope tomorrow to go back and grab my copy of Quarter Pass. That way I have it in addition to the base game. Other than that, I talked a lot about Daggerheart, and I got to see a little bit of what the GM screen looks like, what a couple of the pages of the book looks like. The art officially was released today, so that was really cool. They also gave out some free goodies for those who pre-ordered or have already pre-ordered or pre-ordered it there. They got a pair of these duality dice with the Daggerheart logos on them. So one clearly being, I assume this one Hope and this one Fear being the darker color. And they're actually very good quality dice. I like the sharp edge dice over the rounded edge that most people are traditionally used to. The dice set that comes in the limited edition is a really nice sharp edge purple with gold inlays almost. Limited edition has gold foil cards. They didn't have the book for the limited edition at the booth, but the images were posted online. I'll kind of throw some of these screenshots as I'm talking about them up on the screen. Other than that, they also gave with pre-ordering it. If you were at PAX, you get a Daggerheart little pin, a little small, little nice pin that I'll probably put on a backpack. And they also had a poster of the cover art, which tomorrow I'll be spending some time in line doing the whole signing and autographs with Spencer. So I actually have something for him to sign. Before I was like, oh, maybe I'll have him sign my Candela book. Now I have a poster for him to sign, as well as Rowan Hall. That being said, I'll go through what I did next. I just kind of explored the hall, kind of talked to a couple people. I eventually met up with Fitz from the Pocket Dimension. So one of the four over there. We basically kind of hung out a little bit most of the day. Once they got into town, we just kind of explored the hall for the most part. We went to Dispel Dice a couple of times. Their dice is always great. And I didn't get any sets. I'm thinking about getting another set, though I have so many dice already that I don't know if I need any of the color waves that they had. But we'll see what happens. I'll update you on day 2 and 3 to see if I do end up getting something. But other than that, I didn't really do a whole lot. I didn't play any games today. But what I did after kind of exploring the hall was got a late lunch, then went straight to queuing for the Daggerheart world building panel. That was at 4, but had to really start queuing at 2 because by the time we got there at 2:15, it had already been at half seating capacity. And so we were waiting in line for about an hour and a half just to get in there. And I'm so glad I did because I'll shoot up pictures of some of the art because as soon as I walked into the hall, they had some of the art for the cards on screen, and they were absolutely beautiful. I literally was freaking out of just how great the art was. Fitz can attest to it. Oh, I'll backtrack a little bit. We also met up in line, just right in front of us, were another content creators. They weren't playing. They had played Daggerheart before. They actually just finished playing a DC-20 game, which is a system that I do want to check out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to during this con, but they are a group called Dicescape. They ended up giving us a sticker. They are an actual play, so I've started watching the first episode of their Fallout Let's Play, which is really interesting because I've always loved the Fallout universe and the Fallout series of games and the show. The show actually was really well done for those who, most of the time, those those TV shows or games to TV shows are kind of not great, but Fallout actually did a pretty good job. Other than that, we just kind of talked a little bit in line, kind of exchanged info, got some information about their channel. They got some information about our channel, as well as the Pocket Dimension. So that was just really fun to be able to kind of meet up with other content creators, just kind of on a whim. But then we went inside the hall where I freaked out about the art, found a place to sit. Didn't get super close once again. I was already at 50% capacity by the time we entered into the room. And then when we entered into the room, we kind of just went as close as we could. And obviously, for those who did catch it, you had Rowan Hall, Aaron, Spencer, Matt. What was his name? There was another gentleman who was so funny. Musa? Man, I'm butchering that name so bad. I feel bad. And then Ashley Johnson, as well as Sean Ellis, who was kind of doing live art at the show. And then who was their host? I can't remember her name. Anyways, they had people from Darrington Press who have been working on the game, and they basically did something that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to be maybe like a release of this is the final rules of Daggerheart. Let's kind of showcase what we've come up with, and then have maybe another hour of like Q&A or something like that. They did a completely different thing. They ended up talking a little bit about the end game or what the game would look like, and kind of showing screenshots of it. Every so often, showing some rules of some of the pages, but they talked specifically about campaign frames, and they actually built, or really from scratch with some audience participation, a completely new encounter with a campaign frame called Beast Feast, which is kind of a delicious in dungeon, kind of a more humorous and comedic style of game, where they're meant to hunt what was called a water ice dragon, water ice being a Philly, but kind of a northeastern like U.S. area dessert. I mean, it usually comes in like a cardboard plastic push, kind of like Italian ice, honestly. But they ended up being an electric water ice dragon that when you took apart, you got different components of, and basically the whole premise of Beast Feast was you are going in and hunting beasts and using their ingredients to empower yourselves. They kind of went into it a little bit. I read some of the rules based on the screenshots that they had, but basically you would get, after killing things, you get special bonuses. You'd be able to create magnificent meals. The resting system's dependent on the type of creatures you killed. Another, like the small minion type creatures, were decided by the crowd. The name was Cooler Ranches, Cooler Ranches, Cooler Ranch, something like that. But they were basically nacho or Philly cheesesteak chickens. Had I gave my suggestion first, I would have went with something like cheesy chicks or something like that. I don't know. It's trying to think of a name of a creature on spot is always the hardest thing. But that being said, it was honestly a blast to see them create a world and encounter from scratch from the GM side, but then they also created characters. Each of the panelists were creating characters, while Sean was basically just drawing all these characters, or at least kind of filling in the space from like kind of a generic mold or generic backdrop of a character, essentially. But yeah, they basically just had like this encounter and ran it with the new finalized rules, removing the action tracker, and it felt very clean. We sat there, and the encounter probably took about, I don't know, for fighting that creature, maybe like with some rules explanation. So you had maybe like 30 minutes for an encounter, which is really short, but it was so tongue-in-cheek, so cool, so funny. There were so many great moments, and you definitely need to watch the VOD if you haven't, as there's one, you get to see the cool art, but also it's just a lot of fun information from the people who actually built the game. And so That was basically the last thing I did in the night. I ended up going back into the expo hall, walked around a little bit, kind of looked at some games. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Ended up going back to my Airbnb, grabbing some food, went to a pizza place, and then I just kind of hung out and started filling out an idea based off of Beast Feast to run a bi-weekly Saturday night or Saturday morning game. So if you're interested in playing Daggerheart and using that Beast Feast campaign frame, I'm definitely be looking at running um, that in the new year in 2025. Other than that, tomorrow my plan is to do a little bit more of the same, kind of connect more with some individuals and content creators that I wasn't able to connect with today. And then at night I have and then I also have the meetup with Pocket Dimension with a couple of people. We're going out to lunch, and then after that, it's basically me going to the other side of the river to Camden and watching the Critical Role live show. So, um, other than that, that's basically what I did. I'll update you guys again tomorrow, hopefully. I'm not too tired. Other than that, I will see you guys again tomorrow, and cheers to um, PAX Unplugged for those who are here. Bye.